Every year, hundreds of games get released. Most of them are fun, but only a few of them are unforgettable. We play for gameplay, sure, but we remember these titles because of their stories. Hi everyone, Waris here, and today we're counting down the top 10 games with the best stories of all time.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
Starting off at number 10 with Half-Life 2. And honestly, this game is one of the games that proves age doesn't matter. It came out in 2004, but don't let that release date fool you. The story and the visual still holds up today. You play as Gordon Freeman, dropped into this brutally controlled dystopian city named City 17, where an alien regime basically runs every part of human life. And the game just lets you soak it all in without over-explaining everything. The storytelling is super environmental. Tiny background details, NPC conversations, the way the world is laid out, it all shows you how bad things have gotten. And you kind of piece the story together just by paying attention. It's old, sure, but the pacing and those memorable chapters are why people still bring it up to this day. Gamers, including me, still talk about Half-Life 2's water physics. And for a good reason. Even from a 2004 game, the way it moves and reacts still feels better than a lot of modern games. If you like immersive worlds where the story is baked into every corner, Half-Life 2 absolutely deserves its spot on this list.
What's that now? Don't like the cold?
Coming in next at number 9, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn. And wow, this game is something else. It is an RPG released in 2017 and was recently remastered in late 2024. Even though it was popular for having graphics ahead of its time, the remaster provided a welcome polish. You play as Aloy, a skilled hunter in a world overrun by giant robotic creatures. The story? Super intriguing. You're uncovering the mysteries of this post-apocalyptic Earth while learning about your own past. But what really makes it unforgettable is the world itself. Every landscape feels alive, from sweeping deserts to lush forests. Every area has its own personality. This game was like a dream came true for me because since I was a kid I liked fantasy games with giant dinosaurs, but the game took fantasy to another level. These machines aren't just enemies, they are puzzles in their own right. You have to study them, figure out their weakness, and plan your attack. It's smart, satisfying, and just plain fun. And the 2024 remaster really brings Horizon Zero Dawn to life like never before. Aloy and the other characters look sharper, animations feel smoother, and the world itself is more vibrant. Trees, grass, snow, and even water just feels more alive. The lighting is gorgeous, weather effects feel more real, and everything just pops on screen. If you've never played the original, the remaster is a perfect way to jump in, and even if you did, it's worth revisiting. Everything just looks and feels better. Make your journey through this incredible world even more unforgettable.
Get down there! Alright, everybody pays attention, no one gets hurt! Go! Open the door! They'll get worse than hurt! Hey! Come on!
At number 8, we've got a game you've probably played, or at least heard of, GTA V. Originally released in 2013, it completely changed the open world game scene with a massive city of Los Santos, 3 playable protagonists, and a story packed with action, humor, and crazy moments. Rockstar has kept GTA V alive across multiple generations, constantly updating and refining it. Even in 2025, GTA V got a big PC update with the Enhanced Edition, and it's more than a tiny patch. Rockstar brought over features that used to be exclusive to PS5 and Xbox Series consoles only, including ray trace lighting and shadows that make Los Santos more realistic, faster loading times, and overall performance improvement. And then there's GTA Online, basically a whole other game, with constant updates, new content, and the grind that keeps players busy. Whether you're chasing cars, building your empire, or just causing chaos in Los Santos, there's always something to do. There is no wonder this game still has more daily players than most titles, even after 13 years. Coming in number 7, we've got God of War 2018. It was one of the most anticipated games in years. People had been waiting since God of War 3 back in 2010. This time, you see Kratos in a whole different situation. He's not just chasing gods for revenge. Here, he's trying to raise his son, Atreus, while carrying the weight of his past and the memory of his wife, Faye. That shift from pure rage to responsibility gives Kratos a much more human story. And seeing him try to be a father, protect Atreus, teach him, sometimes struggle with him, makes the narrative hit way deeper. And the world is breathtaking. From brutally snowy peaks to lush forests and mythic ruins, every corner feels like stepping into a Norse legend. The creatures and the beings feel like they jumped straight out of the books. Massive serpents, towering giants. I remember when I was playing this game, I was completely amazed the first time I saw that scene when Kratos is guided to a giant turtle, and as it stands up, it reveals a house hidden underneath its shell. It honestly blew me away just watching it happen. The creativity and the scale of that moment made the world feel even more alive. Moments like that made me admire how perfectly the game brought these legends into life. Sitting down with this game on a PS5 after a long day at work, you can totally lose track of time. You just get pulled into Kratos' world and don't even notice the hours flying by.
This is really not good.
Hold on!
At number 6, we have Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. And this one honestly feels like a playable blockbuster movie in the best way possible. You're back as Nathan Drake, but this time the focus is really on his past catching up with him. Old relationships, old lies, and that one last impossible treasure hunt that risks everything he's built. Instead of being constant explosions, the game slows down at the right moments to show quiet character beats. And the cutscenes are made so well that sometimes I genuinely forget I was playing the game once they ended. The set pieces are still insane. Chases, climbs, near death moments. But what really sticks is how the grounded story feels. Like you're watching a group of friends who've grown older and are trying to figure out who they actually want to be. One of the things I still remember most are the gang fights. They're brutal and cinematic, but the combat feels almost like a dance. Every punch, takedown, and the firefights feels deliberate and satisfying, not just loud chaos. If you're into big adventure vibes with a surprisingly emotional edge, Uncharted 4 absolutely earns its place on this list of story-driven games you should experience.
Booker, are you afraid of God?
No. But I'm afraid of you.
Number 5. Bioshock. Bioshock Infinite takes the series in a completely different direction, and that's what makes it so memorable. Released in 2013, it trades the dark underwater halls of Rapture for Columbia, a floating city in a sky that looks bright, beautiful, and almost perfect at the first glance. But the more you explore it, the more you realize how twisted everything underneath really is. You play as Booker DeWitt on a mission to rescue Elizabeth, and the relationship between the two carries the entire game. She's not just a side character following you around. The game straight up tells you when you first meet her, you don't need to protect Elizabeth in combat. She can take care of herself. Not only herself, she even starts taking care of you in combat. She reacts to the world, helps you in it with most of the things, like lockpicking. The only part I still remember to this day, and I find wholesome after playing Bioshock Infinite, is how Elizabeth picks up the coins you missed to collect and throws them to you. As the story unfolds, it dives into big ideas like identity, choice, and alternate realities, and it does not play it safe. The combat is faster and more chaotic than previous Bioshock games, with skyline, open arenas, and power mixed into gunfight. It's all about momentum and creativity. Bioshock Infinite really shines in combat, where you're constantly blending gunplay with powers and movements instead of just shooting from cover. Bioshock Infinite isn't just a shooter game. It's one of those games that leaves you sitting there for a moment after the credit roll, just trying to process everything you experience. Coming in at number 4, we have Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1. This isn't really a game you play for action, it's a game you feel. It starts with Lee Everett, a convicted man sitting in the back of a police car when everything goes wrong during the early chaos of an outbreak. After the crash, she stumbles into a quiet, stubborn home and meets Clementine, a young girl whose family left on a vacation, leaving her with a caretaker who has mysteriously disappeared. From that moment on, the responsibility falls on you to protect her. The world is filled with zombies, but the real focus is on people. You choose how to talk to other survivors, and every choice matters, not because it massively changes the ending, but because it changes how characters see you and reacts to you. I liked this game so much on my first playthrough that I ended up playing all other seasons. It felt like watching a show, except the decisions felt so real that I actually stopped and think twice, questioning whether I could trust strangers and game just like I would in real life situations. You can choose to be cruel and pick the harsh, selfish dialogue options, or you can try to be calm, patient leader who holds the group together. The writing is heavy and the tension constantly rises. Characters get impatient, arguments break out, and you're often forced to pick sides or stay neutral. The game keeps putting you in uncomfortable situations where you have to decide who lives and who doesn't, and there is never a right answer. What really makes this game unforgettable is the bond between Lee and Clementine. You watch her grow, you learn how to protect her, and you slowly realize how much responsibility that carries. Your choices don't just shape the story, they shape who Clementine becomes. And when you finally reach the ending, it hits hard, not in a loud, flashy way, but emotionally. It genuinely stuck with me, and it changed how I saw the later seasons when I played them. Looking back, you realize that a lot of what happens, good or bad, comes directly from the choices you made. The game doesn't let you forget that, and that's what makes the ending so powerful.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
At number 3, we have Silent Hill 2, and this one is honestly in a league of its own. It's not scary in a usual jump scare way, it messes with your head. You play as James Sunderland, who travels to a fog-covered town of Silent Hill after getting a letter from his wife, who's supposed to be dead. Right away, the game makes you feel uneasy. Not because something is chasing you, but because everything just feels wrong. What makes Silent Hill 2 so special is how personal it is. The monsters, the environments, even the silence, it all feels tied to James' guilt, grief, and denial. It's horror that's more about psychology than monsters. You're walking down long, empty hallways surrounded by thick fog with sound designs that keeps you on edge without even showing you anything. It messes with your head so much that honestly, every time I see fog outside in real life now, I immediately think of this game. I actually played the remake without playing the original first, and they absolutely nailed it. They perfectly remade this masterpiece without losing any of that original horror. It is still terrifying. It feels completely cohesive. And for the fans who did play the original game, they packed it with Easter eggs that brings all that nostalgia back. By the time you reach the ending, it hits you quietly but deeply. It makes you rethink everything you've seen and done. Silent Hill 2 isn't just a horror game. It's an experience that proves how powerful storytelling in games can be when it's willing to be uncomfortable.
V, you there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
You alright?
We're putting Cyberpunk 2077 next on this list. I know, this game had a chaotic launch. I'm not the only one saying it. Every YouTuber talked about it. But who knew this game would become one of those top tier games after all those patches? It feels refined now. The story is incredible. And the graphics are practically the benchmark for testing the limits of high-end PC. The world just pulls you right in. You play as V, a merc trying to make a name for themselves in Night City, a dark futuristic city set in 2077. Right from the start, things go horribly wrong. You're forced to question who you are, how much time you have left, and what you're willing to do to survive. The story leans hard into identity and cooperation greed, asking what it means to live a good life in a world gone to hell. And the cool thing, a lot of emotional punch comes from the side quests, and the character arc you could completely miss if you rush. The immersion is insane. You feel like you're actually living in Night City. There are zero distractions, no loading screens breaking the flow. The world loads while you're in the elevators, keeping you completely immersed. The characters actually move and react naturally. Their face expression change based on the conversation. It's not like other RPGs where NPCs are glued to one spot with only their mouths moving. I remember one specific moment where me and Jackie had to hide fast in a tight spot. I looked over at him because I felt like he was about to do something, and he looked visibly terrified. That was gameplay, not a cutscene, but the quality was just as high. This is one of a few RPGs where I never used fast travel. I just wanted to ride my motorcycle everywhere, waving through the tall buildings and neon lights. The attention to details is amazing. You can literally feel the difference between the poor district and the rich areas. It's these subtle things like seeing garbage piled up on the streets. Most developers makes the game's world so clean, but here, that grit makes it feel alive, just like the real world. So, if you're looking for a game with a huge sci-fi world, great characters, and choice that really change how the story ends, you gotta play this. Now that the game is fixed and improved, Cyberpunk 2077 is absolutely worth your time.
Arthur! Any luck?
I found a place where we can get some shelter. Let Davy rest while he... You know. An old mining town. Abandoned. It ain't far. Come on.
And finally, at number 1, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. Honestly, this is one of the greatest games of all time, and I think almost every gamer would agree with me. For those who somehow haven't played this game, you play as Arthur Morgan, a high-ranking member of Vanderland gang. The story is set at the end of Wild West era, where outlaws are being hunted down by civilization. You're basically running for your life, trying to find a place in the world that doesn't want you anymore. The world is built with so much care, it's genuinely overwhelming. There are YouTube channels dedicated entirely to discovering hidden secrets in this game. I remember just a few weeks ago, the community found a brand new secret 7 years after launch. That's how deep this game goes. I'm sure you've heard about the details, but the thing that always impresses me is that the world lives on without you. NPCs have actual lives and schedules. Animals hunt each other in wild without you ever interacting with them. The map is designed so realistically that I almost played the whole game without the minimap to get the full experience. I was able to navigate just using street signs. The rivers actually connect logically, and the world even has utility lines for electricity. If you follow them, they literally lead you to Saint Denis power plant. Every time I think about that, it blows my mind. Visually, the graphics are unbeatable. YouTubers still compare this game to every new release that comes out, and RDR almost always wins. It's basically history in the making. And just like I mentioned with Cyberpunk, I also absolutely love just riding my horse around this world without fast travel. And then there's the ending. This game is famous for making grown men cry. I remember watching streamers play this game live, and by the end, they were completely speechless, just in tears. It hits you that hard. So here's the verdict. If you want a game that defines what a masterpiece is, with a world that feels alive, graphics that haven't aged a day, and a story that will break your heart, Red Dead Redemption 2 is the one. It's not just a game, it's a journey you'll never forget. And that's it for today's list. What did I miss? Let me know your top picks in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed and turn on the notifications so you're the first to see what I drop next. Again, I'm Warris, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.